Hello friends, welcome in. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. My name is Pixel Riffs. We are back on the BST. Oh, British summertime. Imagine. Imagine it feeling at all like summer in this dull and rainy country. Hope everyone's having a good one. My name is Fixerus. Welcome into your Sunday Minecraft live stream. And we are already kicking off with a resub here. Kitsune, thanks so much for the 21 months. All hail King Pixel. Thank you. Thank you. I'm practicing my royal wave. It's not going very well. It's the left hand. Not even called daylight savings time. I think it loosely is, but British summertime is like the time zone designation. When it's not GMT, it's BST. Lizzie Bell, thank you for the 10 months. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for the prime. So yeah, we're on Empires. Some things have happened. So today's episode is going to be a little bit of a spoiler. Today's stream, rather, is going to be a bit of a spoiler for tomorrow's episode. I will have an episode of Empires out tomorrow, and some stuff has happened. There may have been a couple of episodes uploaded about it already because people have upload schedules and need to get content out. That's totally fine. Yeah, we have some stuff to talk about. And I'm going to be building some more of the castle because, of course, I have to continue with this project. It's going to be huge. Trying to configure Stardew Valley Expanded. Nice. I also saw that somebody was watching with a chicken, like a live chicken, I presume, not just with some chicken. So yeah, that's a thing I need to learn more about. Yeah, we don't believe in saving daylight here. We don't get enough of it, so we have to get what daylight we can. Anyway, let's hop onto Empires. Joel is online right now, looks like. So we'll hop in and say hi. And right now we are outside of the museum. And hopefully Joel is not, like, actively around right now. So I've moved Ollie's mega base. Hello. I've moved Ollie's mega base out here so that we can make room in the museum for a couple of things, most notably the Rendog exhibit and a few other items that will be making their way into my possession. Right now, I have a castle, so I need to show you folks that this is how far it's gotten since the stream we did the other day. So I posted a go live notification on YouTube, which had as far as we got on the stream, and this is everything that's happened since then. And it's going to continue over here. And over here is where we're going to have the keep. So that's sort of what we're going to be working on today, I guess. But I might start working on a little bit of, like, you know, texture and stuff like that. Because my main problem right now is that if you look at this from the ground... Oh, Joel is here. He's sneaking around. If you look at this from ground level, there's not a great deal of... I wonder what he's doing. Maybe he's coming down to visit the museum. There's not a great deal of difference between the cliff there and the castle. So from right here, everything just looks like this big wall of grey. I want to texture some things to change that, if possible. Should I sneak up on Joel? No, I don't think I'm going to be sneaking up on anybody with how loud my outfit has gotten lately. But yeah, a lot of castle to take care of. So what I want to do with the texturing of this is probably add in a little bit of stuff around the base of the castle walls just to give it a bit more dark texture, which probably means we're going to start using stuff like deep slate and tuff and things. There's already tuff in the top of the cliff, so again, I'm a little concerned about that, but we'll see what we can do. And ultimately, the castle's going to look a lot more structural. Is he visiting the museum? I kind of hope so. That'd be nice. And also, we're now on 119.1, so I can duplicate a lays, so that's kind of fun. You built David in your world, Cyan Penguin. Awesome stuff. I'm glad. So yeah, I got a couple of bits and pieces in my inventory that I need to drop off somewhere, probably down here. Didn't leave any other messages in chat, did he? No, okay. Cool. And yeah, I still have like a little bit of stuff in here from marking out the territory up here. I need to grab some stuff from the storage. Can I explain how these weird whispers that everyone's been getting work when no one else is online? No. I have no idea how that happens. Are you talking about, like, Twitch whispers? I'm confused. To explain the chicken thing, one of your chickens is currently ill and needs medicine, holding on her lap while your mum got the medicine ready. Oh, so you own live chickens. Okay, cool. That's cool. I was wondering if a chicken had just, like, turned up, you know? I was a little concerned. Mud is going to be really good for the base of the castle, actually. I think we might start... Because I've always talked about mud as though, yes, it's mud and it makes kind of sticky, muddy sounds and everything, but it can also look a bit like a flatter, deep slate or blackstone kind of texture. It goes really well with, like, basalt as well, so I'm curious if we can get some texturing done there. What I'm really here for is this, but we don't have a huge amount of natural stone right now, so I think a Choppin' Tuesday stream is probably in order to fix some of that. We'll put a bit of this into a grey shulker box if I have a spare one. I'll just put this one. Yeah, kind of awkward having a light grey shulker box with dark grey material in at this point, but we'll do what we can. And then that's just all junk. This can have all the stone in it. We've got more stone in there as well. Great. And I should still have some natural stone around somewhere, but I brought most of it up from the area where I was digging out the room for David. I see Joel is cameraing stuff as well. Alright, I'll try not to get in his way. I don't know if you've seen what Joel did at Jimmy's base recently, but you need to go and watch that if you haven't. It's tremendous. It's a feat of engineering, and it needs to be observed. So I'm going to do a couple of texture tests, I think. Just around the base of what we've got going on here. I hope Joel's okay with me sleeping. I presume he is. To mention something in chat. If not... Cool. Have I seen it in-game? Yes. I saw it in-game before I knew what it was. And it just makes me so happy. Another thing I need to do fairly soon is go and do some Sculk cleanup at spawn, so we might end up doing a bit of that on Tuesday as well. Let's see, mud, there it is. So I wonder if at the base of the castle here, we can kind of work in a bit of this. And kind of have almost like streaks of it going up, basically. Basalt there. Polished basalt like that. I wonder if like vertical deep slate might also be a good call. We'll do something like that. And now if we take a look at that from below, I mean, it definitely gives it a different vibe to the rest of the cliff. The cliff needs to look a little greener, though. And that's my main concern. But we can also put, like, trees and stuff up there. That's the other thing, is, like, never underestimate how much just adding some trees to this plateau could go. I'm into it. I think we'll go with this. I think we'll go with that for the base of the walls. Hey, Jonathan, thanks so much for the 100 bits. Dr. Metal Warrior with 100 bits as well. Thank you very much. How's meeting some of the Empire's members? It was really fun. It was so good to actually get out to an event for once. For folks who weren't aware of this, a bunch of us got invited to go and play and capture footage from Minecraft Legends in London on Thursday of last week, which is why I didn't stream. And so, yeah, I got to meet Jimmy there. I got to meet Martin. False and Green I'd met before, but I got to see them again. Ollie was there as well, my first time meeting him. So, yeah, no, we had a great time. It was so fun. We all went for a cheeky beverage afterwards and some dinner, and that was just really great. I've not really had the opportunity to hang out with anybody because of being cautious after COVID and everything, and Like, yeah, just wanted to play it relatively safe. So yeah, just going to that was just super fun. Have I recovered from meeting Ollie? Just about, yes, just about. He has an experience. No, he's great. No, we had a good time. And yeah, we are not going to be releasing any of the Minecraft Legends stuff until a bit later. The footage and everything is embargoed until a certain date. But yeah, once that's up, I'll be able to tell you all about it. And in the meantime, I can disclose that we did win because people did post that on their social feeds and stuff. So yeah, I was on a team with False Ollie and Grian against another team, and we won our little matchup. It was very fun. Yeah, it was good times. I'll put another one up there as well. So let's see. We got a larger patch of that starting to take shape. A skeleton shooting at me. How dare you? I'm the king. Yeah, let's yeah, definitely need a little bit more green to be evident from around here. Like, if anything else, I should maybe have pushed all of the blocks up from this path, like by a block or two, just so there was a bit more moss and mossy cobblestone and stuff visible around the edges of the cliff, but it can't really be helped now, and it's not something I really want to correct because there's so much to move if I did that. Oh yeah, Callum was there as well. CPK was there as well. Yes. That was fun. Oh, Azuma, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, folks. Man, I'm just getting started, so you timed that raid beautifully. Good to see you. How is everybody doing? Welcome in. Welcome in, raiders. My name is Pixelriffs, or you may address me as King Pixelriffs right now. The backstory behind this is all going to happen on the next episode, which should be out tomorrow. So don't worry if you're not in the loop. It's fine. You'll get caught up pretty soon. X, thank you so much for the raid. Once again, if you've got a raid and run, no worries. If you're just hanging out and chilling, that's, of course, perfectly welcome. And if anybody's new here and wants to drop a follow, I stream Tuesday, Thursday, and every other Sunday here on this channel, but we also play a couple of other games throughout the week. I've been playing Elden Ring with Zloy XP, who I do the Hermitcraft recap with, so been doing a bit more variety this year, actually. It's been kind of nice. So I'm going to pop that in. And yeah, right now I'm working on this enormous castle project here for my Empire's base. I built this entire cliff by hand over some savanna terrain that was kind of more natural, and I'm working on giving this base of the castle a bit of texture just so it looks a little bit more distinct from how stony the cliff is in front of it. But we're going to be building up a bit more like terrain and trees and a bit more custom stuff around here to make it look like a little bit more natural compared to the structure of the castle. And once the castle structure is in there, it should be a little bit more easy to differentiate between the two. Yeah. Elden Ring streams make me wish my laptop could handle the game. Yeah, it's a little bit of a resource-intensive game, but yeah, me and Zloy are having a great time playing that. It's been a lot of fun. I can probably throw a few more supplies in one of these. I think this one just has miscellaneous gubbins in it right now, so we'll throw those in there. Been making some item frames to stash stuff at the museum. Veheminator, thanks so much for gifting a sub. Very kind of you. Do a little bit of texturing around here. I feel like the mud should probably build up around the edge of the river, if anything. In 1.19.4, you can switch a chest plate and a elytra with right-click. You can, yeah. It's going to make flying kind of fun. You can kind of do the bedrock fly cancel now.
That's just prime.
How's it meeting the sheriffs this past week? It was good, U of M, yes. I was just talking about it. But, yeah, my first time meeting Martin. Very cool to meet him. Jimmy and CPK and Ollie for the first time. And yeah, we had a grand old time playing Minecraft Legends. It was fun. Once again, my opinions on it are embargoed until later, so you're not going to be getting like a full review from me or anything. But I mean, it's a video game. What's it going to be? Not fun? I don't know if that's something anyone needs to worry about. April Fool's Snapshot guesses? Absolutely no idea, and I think it's better that way. I think it is a lot more fun if we have no idea what's coming and we're pleasantly surprised by it. I'm hoping it's something as fun as One Block at a Time was last year, because I had far too much fun with that. But I'm going to be keeping that that afternoon, evening open just in case anything big does happen that we feel like streaming. So we'll see what we end up with, eh? The Mojang team does like to throw us a curveball. What's the crown I'm wearing for? So you'll find out more tomorrow, but it is something from Empire Season 1. Yeah, suffice it to say that I'm kind of the king of the server for a little bit. And there's probably a good reason why I'm holding a Totem of Undying in my other hand. What's my one rule then? You'll have to wait and see. The one rule is wait until tomorrow, yeah. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for the texturing, because I've had a thought that maybe we want to build up some of these walls at the base to have a few more structural elements and stuff, so I don't necessarily want to just, like, texture a bunch of flat walls and then realize I'm putting blocks over the top of it to make it look a little different. So we'll leave that there as a good start. But yeah, if I'm going to add, like, a few more blocks around the base of this, just to, like, thicken the walls up. I was thinking specifically, like, I want to have, like, an archway over the top of this. And I think if I'm going to add stuff over the top of that, there's no point texturing that wall, right? Assuming the crown last season had genie rules, like, you banned a rule saying you can't take the crown from me. I mean, it's all in the name of good fun. and if somebody's trying to find, like, stupid loopholes or whatever, then people are just going to loophole them right back. And there are some pretty creative brains on this server, so... What was Scott and Co doing in my castle the other day? It wasn't my castle. There's a similar build at spawn, which is also made entirely out of stone right now, so you might have been confused between the two. What mods do we use? This is a pretty vanilla server. The only mods we have are cosmetic ones, really. We run sodium for performance reasons, and so we attach stuff like logical zoom to that so that you can zoom in. Kind of like Optifine, we run Iris for shaders. We have a custom entity models mod, which is the reason you'll find some people with custom weapons, armor, and mobs roaming around their kingdoms. Personally, I just have my Dodo Winchester, who is just a retextured horse, basically. But that mod allows us to do a little bit more with the remodeled entities. like you can change up a bit more stuff about them. But that's really it. Like that replay mod, like Matica, like the stuff that helps us make content but isn't necessarily like a content mod, if you understand me. That's really the vibe on Empires. The texture pack for flowers and plants is Fwip's Foliage, with a couple of modifications made for this server specifically. And yeah, we just kind of built on that. But that's available to his patrons, I believe. At least the base version of it is, not with the Empires modifications, but with other bits and pieces that he works on for his personal series, like his hardcore series and stuff. The Dude 1469, thank you for the 21 months. Mysterious Crow, thank you for gifting 5 subs. Very kind of you. Appreciate that very much. So, what I've got right here, there's a transition that occurs somewhere over there that's less clear right now because this is all open, but from exterior to interior, we're currently, this is like interior hallway rather than being, you know, exterior corridors. So, this is really leading in towards an area which is probably going to have like a gateway to it. It's probably going to have like a gate that goes here. And then that's potentially going to be one way of getting into the keep. And the keep is going to be starting here. And I'm trying to think of what we would want in here. There's going to be like bedrooms and stuff, obviously. Who's online on the server? It's me, Joel, and Joel's camera account, which for some reason looks kind of like Grian. I'm not quite sure why. How big were dodos IRL? They were probably like the size of turkeys, more or less. Like a little bit taller, I think. There are some existing dodo skeletons on display in some museums, I believe. Never really played a modern Minecraft series. I played a couple, but like they never really went anywhere for me. Like Forever Stranded Lost Souls with the Cobblenauts. That was my first time really kind of getting to grips with how modded is played. But that was also like we were the first people to even have that mod pack. It was kind of given to us as a bunch of content creators to play around with and kind of promote on the down low kind of thing. Dodos could get up to 1 meter tall IRL. Yeah, that's respectable. It's 3 feet. Was it my choice not to be a part of Afterlife at the first series? I kind of wanted to just go back and do Survival Guide at that point. I was never formally invited, but it's the kind of thing where if I was invited, I probably would have said, no, I want to focus on vanilla, so. Saw a stuffed dodo in a museum once. They're pretty big. Yeah, I can imagine they were big. Which is why they were hunted so much, right? Because they give people lots of meat. The dodo was found by the Dutch in 1600s. Also, the dodo was alive when found. Yeah, they were more or less hunted to extinction, from what I understand. Yeah, we did Sky Factory 3. We did a bit of Sky Factory on stream for a little while. Didn't do too much of that like off stream or for videos, but we did like time lapses of the Sky Factory stuff. That was fun. They were apparently very tasty. Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, we need like an entrance kind of gateway thing here. Big heavy door that we can close. Some sort of entrance hall. I think like a long hallway in here was not a bad idea. Let's have it widen by 1 block. I need more stone, first of all. That's why I got all that stone in the first place. Thought you saw chiseled bookshelves in a video of Lizzie's, but the server is 119.1. I mean, there's a lot we can do with texture packs and potentially even making a copy of the world and bringing it forward into a snapshot or whatever for the purposes of video editing magic, but we don't have chiseled bookshelves implemented on the server, to my understanding. But yeah, lots of fun stuff you can do with video editing. And we'll do 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. We can have little like 3x3 towers coming off the sides of these, and we can have like spiral staircases or something inside of those. Okay, that's too wide. There we go. So we got something like that so far. Looks like a little alien face. And we could have rooms off to the sides here. I guess one more there. Dodos died because people were greedy and there were no conservation efforts. Yeah. Alas, the dodos. It is kind of nice to have a dodo in this series. It's like a little bit of a... Let's bring it back for a little bit. True Purple with the 49 months. Thank you so much for the 49. Welcome on back. Good to have you. Bowl-shaped area looks like a good place for a courtyard garden. Yeah, it would be kind of nice to have a few more like internal courtyard kind of places that are further up in the castle. Winchester is a lovely lad. He's very good. He's got those dancing feet. I think this one can have another doorway over here somewhere. There are going to be sections of this that we don't want to have perfectly straight walls. Just for, like, more interesting shapes to come out of here. Am I outlining for a 3-wide wall? Probably in here we're going to slim it down slightly from the exterior walls. But then there are going to be, like, a few more details here and there, you know, some stuff that we can play around with. Love how everyone's getting custom mounts this season. Really adds to the fun. Yeah. Am I going to put a mini museum in the castle so we can keep the keepsakes in the keep? Very good. Very good. How much am I planning to make this castle ruin-like? That's going to depend pretty heavily on whether I run out of time while I'm still working on this. Because I like the idea of a lot of it having stood up there for a while. Like, it can be a ruin in terms of it being abandoned and, you know, no maintenance having been done on it, but still mostly be standing. As always, the inspiration for this is chiefly Stormvale Castle in Elden Ring, which is, like, partly ruined in that there's stuff everywhere and it's not like anyone's tidying it up, and it's got, like, huge holes in the masonry and the walls and everything, but, you know, Stormvale Castle still stands tall, as the Finger Maiden says. Or the Finger Reader. I think here it would actually be kind of fun to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So start on block 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, starting there. Kind of like almost a bay window kind of thing. So you end up with something that's like a little bit more like this. So 2 blocks out, 1 block in, 2 blocks out, 1 block there, and then kind of comes in towards the middle. There could be almost like a sunroom kind of thing. Obviously it doesn't look like a sunroom when I'm building the walls out of solid stone, but ignore that for the minute. We'll remove this. Because then you can look out of this way. Obviously that castle tower is right in front of you, but we're potentially thinking taller here as well. Like, I'm laying all of these things out on the ground, but a lot of this is going to be up in higher reaches. It's held together, but a lot of spiderwebs and such. Potentially, yes. A lot of spiderwebs, glow lichen, that kind of thing. Have one of those Game of Thrones courtyards with a big fancy tree in the middle. Yeah. Yeah, I'm expecting to build a few trees around the castle walls here and there. I'm not sure if we're going to go for, like, the castle is built around a giant tree, because I've seen a few of those popping up recently. So tower entrances opposite each other like so. Entrance to the main hall here. Going to use golden ratio again. Honestly, this is too large for me to really think about it in that sense. Not one giant tree like a courtyard based on... Yeah, I know what you meant. But, yeah, I was just talking out loud about my other potential ideas that we could use here. But yeah, we'll have another smaller room on this side. There's going to be, like, drawing rooms and stuff. There's bits of, like, Volcano Manor that I want to use for this as well, really. So, like, it has a drawing room, but then, like, a lot of side rooms and stuff opposite that are just, like, private rooms, private offices, whatever. That's my thinking, at least. In which case, they probably have to have a 3 wide wall so there can be like a secret passage this way. With like a ladder at the end of it or something. And that meets quite nicely with the edge of this tower, so maybe it's like a back way into the tower or down from the tower can lead this way. Maybe like an entrance behind a painting or something. Pretty classic Minecraft stuff. Victorians must really have loved sketching. Well, it's not like digital cameras were invented yet or anything. Sometimes you had to make do with what you had. It's a good start. Let's go here for now. Hang on. This needs to be longer than this if I'm doing what I'm doing. Probably more like this. Just having a room that comes out almost like a literal wing. But this can be more like, I don't know, a greenhouse kind of thing attached to the side of here. Or a conservatory. French doors that open out into this courtyard area. Because again, this is like, you can see from the grass color, right? This is like a patch of green. So this feels like a good place to put a well-tended garden because it's blending up into the mountain biome compared to over here where the yellower grass of the savannah is. May regret that shape later when we decorate. Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, don't worry. think the harder thing is going to be still having the secret passage in here when there's got to be a door out to this somehow. But I'm expecting we'll have, like, other ways of getting in, or potentially it can be, like, bridged across here and the passage can go underneath it, you know. Colonel Mustard with the lead pipe in the secret room behind the painting. You can have an entire, like, Clue movie shoot in here. And so naturally, right here, probably there, we're going to have some large pillars flanking an entrance into an audience chamber, I guess you could call it. Like, it wouldn't quite be the throne room necessarily, because you'd have to be, like, in the keep itself to approach the king. Although maybe, I don't know, maybe it makes more sense that way. But we can have that come out from like here. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks from the edge of this pillar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we get this coming out this way as well. And this room, it's going to make sense to have it be a little eccentrically shaped, but symmetrical if we can manage it. Over here, though, we've got the cliff to contend with, so evidently we're going to have to come in here anyway. It's going to be like the precipice of the castle that you really can't assail it from this angle. Overhanging room with the glass floor, maybe. Or maybe there can be a section of the castle that's actually kind of like over the edge of this and has crumbled away. That could be a fun idea. Maybe we'll do that instead of putting a wall here. So like there's actually a section of it that's fallen down there. So just getting more ambitious by the minute, but I'm kind of fine with that. So that's kind of coming out that way. I'm just going to build it like this for now, and then we'll figure that out later. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want it to go out that far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that matches up with there. Yeah, cool. Alright. You've been keeping villagers, but you could text them to look like ghosts wandering around. Wow, yeah, imagine ghosts walking the halls in this place. Haunting their workstations. Let's have 5 blocks long here. Gotta make sure we sleep. And yeah, we do have the option of working with the terrain a little bit here, but I do think it's going to make more sense to just build everything on a flat surface here for the minute. Yeah, you just hear in the background, in the distance, with some extra reverb. And then out one more here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that? Yeah. Yeah, this part's all going to have to be broken down, crumbled in. Is the castle going to be purely an aesthetic build? I mean, that's... You know, if the sky was the limit, if we had an infinite amount of time and an infinite amount of ideas, I would want to turn this into, yeah, like a dungeon that people could run. But the practicalities of doing that to the level of quality that I want it are a little bit too much for this series, I think. Like, unless I was doing this in creative and had, like, adventure map level, like, command blocks everywhere and stuff like that, like, it wouldn't turn out the way I wanted it, I feel like. Or unless we were, like, playing it D&D rules where I was, like, describing what was happening as we were going through it or something, you know? Because let's be real, once you're in the stage of Minecraft that we are, it's like most mobs aren't really a threat. So unless I was like, everyone take off all of your armor and everything, you can only go in with like leather armor and wooden swords. Like, it's not going to feel like they're really fighting for their lives. In most situations. Unless I just fill the thing with wardens, and then you wouldn't be able to see it. This is probably the music that would be playing, though. Yeah, Jimmy just turns up with a box of TNT, right? Don't know where he would have got TNT from, though, because his gunpowder farm isn't that great. Can hear him right now. Losers! All of you! Will there be more law builds for other emperors? If I can spend the time on those whilst also still doing this, I mean, I will do my best. I think we're going to do like little extra alcoves back here. These might even end up being towers or something, but I just want to leave myself a 3x3 space before I start putting in, like, the back wall. No, thank you. Waterlog the walls, fill it with charged creepers? Yeah. So that's starting to take shape. That's an interesting looking shape. And this is kind of on one of the rises in the terrain. Kind of dips down here a bit. Jimmy would have to probably AFK at his farm for a while to get as much TNT as he wants, right? Yeah, the really difficult thing is going to be making sure this room feels symmetrical when half of it is crumbled away. But we'll manage. We can count it in from there. How amazing to have like a throne room here and then just everything behind it gone. Just built a creeper farm on bedrock and it ain't too fast, maybe 40 an hour, not sure what I did wrong. That's bedrock mob spawning for you. I don't know if there are any ways of improving Bedrock Edition mob farms at this point, but you can't build them the same way you build Java farms typically because there are mob density rules in Bedrock which prevent large amounts of mobs from spawning in one place. So effective farms, unless they rely on other mechanics like structure-based spawning, like in Guardian farms or Nether Fortresses or whatever, or unless they are reliant on mechanics like, for example, portal ticking in Zombie Pigman farms. Basically, unless you're relying on other mechanics like that, if it's just natural mob spawning you're basing it on, you have a much harder time. It has to be much larger because it's spread out over multiple chunks and stuff like that, right? Yeah, if a Ghast farm is going to be better for Gunpowder and Bedrock. To be fair, a Ghast farm is pretty good in Java too. The speed of those Ghast farms, I'm not sure if it's nerfed them now that you can't have stuff spawning directly in Nether portals. I'm pretty sure that change happened. But I haven't tried building a Ghast farm since that, so... Creepers are limited to 2 spawns max per spawn on Bedrock. Java is 4 right out the door. Yeah, so... pack spawning is different. Spawn density is different, so... Like in Java, you can build a dark room in Skyblock with nothing else around it, and 70 mobs all spawn in there, as long as there is room for them. On Bedrock, you build a thing the same size and you get like a couple of skeletons. If it's like the size of a chunk, Java can fit 70 mobs in that, and I think Bedrock doesn't let you have more than maybe 8. Is this hardcore? No, this is a regular hard difficulty Minecraft SMP. What am I working on today? Big castle. So far, this is the layout of it. Very big project, very ambitious. Some of it's probably going to be left as like a ruin. Right now we're working on the kind of main keep and throne room, and yeah, like there's a lot going on here. Will Empire's update to 1.20 when it's coming out? We're not sure. Probably not, honestly, because we don't know when it's coming out, first of all, so there's no use like hanging on for that necessarily. But also we rely on a couple of mods to run, one of which is custom coded for us to add more things that we can do with the custom entity models mod. So it's not really all that practical for us to update to accommodate all of the newer stuff. So we will see. The previous season of Empires continued after the release of 1.18. My series didn't, because I was more interested in going back to Survival Guide for 1.18, but yeah, the previous season of Empires definitely had a bit longer of a shelf life than just like the next update cycle coming around. Is this being designed from the top of my head, or do I look at stuff for inspiration? I always look at stuff for inspiration. I don't have a specific castle that I'm just recreating the floor plan, but a lot of this is based on Stormveil Castle from Elden Ring, which, if you are unfamiliar, you'll be able to get a really interesting tour of that on Wednesday, because LoyXP and I, in our continuing Elden Ring streams, are probably going to be doing Stormveil on Wednesday. So that'll be 6 PM UK time, 18 plus stream, but yeah, Stormveil is kind of my chief inspiration here, just because it's a castle that's built on a similarly shaped piece of land, and a lot of the area around here has been inspired by Limgrave in Elden Ring specifically, hence why I've got some catacombs over there with a huge statue, and like the roof of this, like I specifically, when I did an episode about this, I went into Lanedale, the capital city in Elden Ring, and like took some Elden Ring footage in the video to show the roof style that I wanted to use. Been stuck in Stormveil for a week now. Love Elden Ring, but I'm so bad at it. Yeah, we're kind of cheating in that we're playing it through in Seamless Co-op, which is a mod that people from the community have implemented, which means you can have somebody playing alongside you for the entire game, not just for specific boss fights and dungeons. So yeah, we will see how well we do in Stormveil, but I know it pretty well, and having played the game a couple of times now, I could maybe like get us to the next checkpoint, and then Zloy can respawn there, and we'll go from there. But it's going to be a really fun time. I'm really looking forward to it. Have I made this in creative? No. The reason being, because it's such a large castle, really. Like, I want to get the layout down, ask for a backup copy of the world so that I can work on texturing and designing some stuff in Creative, and then maybe import Lightmatica stuff on top of that. But I want to get the floor plan done in Survival because really, like, I just wanted to get started building this as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's just going to be, like, a mammoth task to build in Survival, right? I think here, alongside this, like, bay window, I actually want to have some towers again, because this keep is going to need to have towers. So if we had, let's say, something that starts here. And then we use this wall. I mean, it's not really going to be a bay window at that point, then, is it? Let's rein that in slightly. And have the tower start, like, here and make it smaller. Good, then we can have an entrance to the tower from whatever this room ends up being. Did I ever have an idea for what my rule would have been during Empire Season 1 if I'd gotten the crown? No. I probably would have come up with something, but yeah, at the time, not really. Which is one of the reasons I never really went after it. Like, I figure if I don't have something good, then there's not really much point in trying too hard, right? So the question is now, can we squeeze one of these in on the opposite side and not have it mess with the layout of the throne room bit over here? Or the audience chamber, or whatever we're calling it. So we kind of want this, right? Yeah, okay. So the actual tower shape starts there. It does fit. Fantastic. Wonderful. Good. Two, three, like that. Lines up with the edge of that tower. Perfect. Good, good, good. Three there, two there. Good. Okay, great. Need to put some torches in here because inevitably these will become closed off gaps later. Or they'll just have like one zombie spawn in there at night or something. Left-hand tower looks like it's going to block your sightlines from the sunroom. It probably will, but bear in mind that this is also going to be playing around with verticality and stuff. So, like, this is not all going to be at ground level. This is just me building the footprint of the castle. And if stuff gets in the way, then we can figure it out. We can make it taller or shorter or, like, put glass through so it's kind of transparent. The towers could even be part of the sunroom. They could be astronomy towers, so you can go up there and look at the sky, you know. We can do all kinds of stuff. The idea of this even being a sunroom is just like something I'm working out on the fly to justify it having a slightly different shape. But yeah, now we have some towers there, so those are going to look dope. Ghost tower, yeah, exactly, right? And yeah, some of the like ornamentation and stuff we can take from this. The towers have a pretty similar footprint to this one as well, so that's not terrible. Fill that in. Can't wait to see this in a video. Yeah, so you'll see everything up to what we started to do on this stream in tomorrow's video, which should be out the usual time, around 11 AM UK time. Looks like an old-fashioned car, does it? It's a jalopy. It's a stagecoach. Should call a blueprint for a castle a grey print. I had considered for a while calling this Castle Grayscale because we're probably going to use a fairly stone-based build palette for it, and also Grayscale does sound kind of like a cool name for a castle. But I don't know for certain what it's going to be called. I feel like a lot of castles end up having two-syllable names like that. Like Stormvale, Blackreach, you know, stuff like that, right? Like there's... Blackreach is like a different place, it's in Skyrim, but... yeah, there's some juicy names like that out there. Hey, Looney MC, welcome in! We got a raid coming through. Say hi, folks! Welcome in, raiders. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Pixel Riffs. We are currently working on a castle here in the Empire's SMP. This is a YouTube SMP that you may be familiar with. If not, it's 13 content creators, each with their own empires. A lot of thematic building and stuff like that. Right now we're at my base. This is the ancient capital. It is a long-abandoned empire, so I'm not exactly the ruler of the empire, although right now I am wearing a crown, but ignore that. We are working on a massive castle over here on the hilltop. It's going to have a fairly complex layout. A lot of this is based on Elden Ring, which is one of my favorite games right now and forever, I guess. And yeah, we're working on our own little castle layout here. So welcome on in. Looney, thank you so much for the raids. No worries if you've got a raid and run. Always appreciate people stopping by, dropping their community off here, and hope you'll enjoy the stream. Did I bring the crown back, or was it something general? So we talked about it, obviously, but like that's more behind the scenes kind of stuff. You will see tomorrow how the crown was discovered, and we'll see where it goes from here. Excited for it. Have I secretly been in the last MCC? No. No, not that kind of crown. Yeah, right now it's me, Joel Smallish Beans, and his camera account, so I presume he's doing some building somewhere. Either that or pranking somebody again, because that's what he does right now. Is that snow? Is what snow? Is where snow? This is calcite and a bit of diorite, but mostly calcite. This calcite was the subject of a beef between me and Joel Smallish Beans for the first bit of the season, in which he was building with a lot of calcite, and he came over and took this calcite despite my base being over there. So I surrounded one of his calcite builds in glass as though it was like a museum piece, because that's kind of my vibe this season. And yeah, I put a lot of the calcite back, but I put lava underneath it so that if he went back here to mine it, he could like drop in lava. He ended up just bringing all the glass back, and my mountain looked like it was shrink wrapped for a while. That was the early days of Season 2 of Empires. That was good times. Yeah, so we have our throne room kind of thing over here. I want to have some towers kind of coming off the edge of this as well, although we can't really work with symmetry at that point because this cliff is here. Wolves always look really funny in the rain. Like, I get that they're meant to look wet or whatever, but they sort of look like they're in a cave. Just weirdly lit. Yeah, the wall continues around here, so we need to find some stuff to go here. But I get the sense that on this side, this could actually lead out into another hallway. You know what would be really nice, actually? Because a lot of this is not going to be at this elevation. It's going to be raised up. But if this was more like an arched bridge kind of thing inside the castle and you could go underneath it, that would be super cool. Also difficult to breach if you're an invader. Pantry and a kitchen with a massive fireplace. Yeah, we might have some private like kitchens and stuff in here. I've already got like a feasting hall out in the main castle because obviously like visitors and stuff wouldn't be staying in the keep necessarily. Just in case any of them are there to assassinate the king in secret. Might as well take care of this iron ore while it's here. So we can just block all of that up. Wet dog's also a Java-only thing. I thought they were grey wolves the first time I saw one. Yeah. They could have been. Hello, my friends. Obviously, right now, the stuff we're building, you can't really see from this distance. But we'll get there. We will certainly get there. Put that stuff away. Yeah, looking at this from the air now, it's really getting big. Lots to do. Always lots to do. I'll put in, like, arches right now, and these are going to be very temporary because I'm still not certain about the scale. But I just want to remind myself that that's what I plan to do with this later. Hamster Kazam, thank you for the 4 months. Welcome in. Could get the dog and put it in the kitchen. They used to have what looks like a hamster wheel attached to meat spits, and they'd put dogs in to turn the spit. Is that why there's a breed of dog that's called a turn spit? Like, I'm pretty sure that's what they're called, right? That'd be pretty funny if there was. Does make sense. Yeah, we'll have this pig on the spit. There you go. Name him Chef Howl. This is Howl's Stationary Castle. That's the construction supervisor pig. It's the foreman, yeah. That's the breed, and that's why they're named that. Wow. Wow, today I learned. Okie doke, that's lined up. Very good. Yeah, we'll keep that stuff in temporarily. Once again, if we need to break any of this down later, it's pretty easy to do. Because, of course, we can just get a beacon in here, take out all the stone nice and quickly, and then rebuild it to whatever specification. Yeah, if it's a stationary castle, we're obviously going to have, like, a little shop with paper clips and stuff. Lonely Frost, thank you for the 3 months. Welcome in. Now have a guard sheep called Dolly. It looks just like all the other sheep. There's a reference. Who remembers Dolly the sheep? Oh, bear with me. God, today I got faked out so hard by my microwave because of British summertime starting. Like, the only two clocks that don't adjust automatically are the microwave and the thermostat. And the thermostat's like literally an analog thing that you have to like wind on an hour, but the microwave clock is a digital one. It just, you know, microwave, doesn't update. And so I came downstairs at like 11:30 after I'd been doing some editing, and I came into the kitchen to make a cup of tea. I looked at the microwave and it said 10:30, and I was like, really? Wow, I've been so productive today. It's only 10:30, and I was like, dang it, I forgot. I hadn't had to think about it because my like computer and my phone and stuff had all updated automatically last night. Didn't realize about the clocks until my cat's feeder went off an hour later. Oh. Forgot to adjust the thermostat clock. Yeah, well, we went to bed like at what would have been 1 a.m. last night, except suddenly it was 2 a.m. and we were like, oh, it's so late. But I hadn't thought to adjust any of the clocks ahead of that. G the B, thank you for gifting 5 subs. Nursing Geek, thank you for the 4 months. Aerodymia with the 17. Nursing Geek also gifting a sub. The Dude 1469, thank you for the 200 bits. Welcome to the hype train. But 4:30 for work, and got framed when it said 3:30. Oh no, oh no. Oh, you got freaked out. That's probably what it. Maybe a typo there. Bimo, thank you for gifting 5 subs as well. Wow, very generous of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, got freaked out. There you go. There you go. I thought I'd interpreted that right. I've read enough like auto-corrected text messages and emails to kind of have a vibe for some of those. So yeah, little archway thing there. I like that a lot, actually. That's really cool. We could do some fun stuff around that, maybe. Which mod is the free cam? That is free cam, if you can believe it. Let me quickly get the exact name of it, but it's called something like that. Is it gonna let me look at this? Nope, I've crashed multi-MC. That's not going to end well. Judd Philby, thank you for gifting 5 subs. The Dude 1469 gifting 5 subs as well. Oh my goodness. The hype train is rolling on. Going to be wearing 2 different kinds of hat at once. The crown in game and the hype train hat. Yeah, that's not gone well with multi-MC, apparently. Let me quickly check something else. Oh, no, there it is. Ooh, okay. It's got some weird console log lines. Yeah, this is free cam by Hashalites, I guess. If I click on this, I might be able to get the Curse Forge. Yeah, there you go. Yes, I use multi-MC, specifically for handling Empire's instances, because it's really easy to update mods and stuff. Chicken's Revenge and Bimo, thank you for the 100 bits each. Really appreciate that, thank you. Have I ever considered growing a longer beard? Honestly, my beard gets too, like, irritating when it's longer. Like, I have quite sensitive skin and it gets kind of, like, irritated and stuff. And so if I don't have the opportunity to trim my beard down every so often to, like, moisturize my face and stuff, my skin gets very flaky. Do I ever run shaders? For time lapses and stuff I do, typically. But most of the time during regular gameplay, no. I like to save shaders for times when it feels cinematic. Like if I'm doing a time lapse and there's like sweeping camera angles and stuff, it feels like it justifies the extra visual fidelity over just regular gameplay, when most of the time it just makes it more difficult to see. Lynn369 and Lavender Mama, thank you so much for the resubs. Lavender Mama with the 2 years. Love that. Appreciate the 2 years. Thank you. Will there be a dungeon in the castle? If I have time to build one, but gosh, there's a lot of this already, so... I'm kind of not sure what to build on this side. Like, maybe we have something similar to over there, where the wall extends and there might be another entrance up here, but it's kind of more difficult to get to. I'm not certain. At some point, there's going to be like an elevator that comes up into the castle from somewhere as well. That might even be down here. Teenybit gifting those 5 subs to the community. Once again, folks, if you've been gifted a sub during the hype train or any other time, please make sure you thank the very generous sub gifters. Castle gardens for growing crops. Yeah, I've left a couple of areas where there's going to be, like, garden area and stuff, so... Hopefully that shouldn't be too bad. We're going to attach to the castle wall here and continue out in this direction. The dude 1469 with the 300 bits. Thank you so much. I'm going to finally destroy this crafting table. And there was around here somewhere. Yeah, I've no idea when this happened. If this was me or if this was somebody else, but somebody who could only bridge with, like, stairs has just left a bunch of stairs here. And I'm like, if that was me, I don't know why I left it there for so long, but I did. There's a little cave of sorts down here as well. Ah, gosh. Freaking get out of here. That zombie ran up on me out of nowhere. I was... Can you leave me alone, for goodness sake? I'm the king. First they jump scare me, and then they continue to attack me in the night. These child assassins. Kind of can't get any sleep around here. The child jump scare, yes. Ankle biters. Oh, creeper despawned. Good, good. Don't want any of them around my new castle. All these intricate decorations I've been building. Must have missed a few streams. You've not. No, this is the stream before the video comes out explaining why I have a crown on my head. So you haven't missed anything, don't worry. Lizzie's video about this is already out, by the way, but you can wait until tomorrow if you want to watch my perspective on the whole thing. They just wanted a hug, and they can't have one. I'm busy. That's what I get for going and removing important pieces of the server's history, I guess. Whatever that was. So, the wall is going to enter and leave this tower at weird positions, but that's fine. Thank you so much for all the support on today's hype train, folks. Really appreciate all of the subs and the resubs, the gifts, all of that stuff. It's very much appreciated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do 9, just so it's an odd number, because odd numbers are usually better for things like this. Got shot off a bridge by a ghast and lost all your gear in lava. Oh no, Weasel Gamer, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Always real rough when things like that happen. But don't worry, I'm sure you can bounce back. I believe in you. Ignore the glitchiness in the background. That's just chunk rendering being odd. It's like, you're not looking at that chunk, right? I'm like, I am, actually. So we've got a line of 3 there, and then that's back to the 2s and the 3s. Nope, that one there, thank you. Okay, there we go. What was the chance that one of my castle building video titles will be my Empire's Mega Base? Nil. None whatsoever. Absolutely not. Flashbacks to mountainous mega base? Yeah. It's a curse for me. Have a good stock of emeralds and villagers, so it shouldn't take me long to get geared up again. I was building a tunnel to the stronghold. Ah, right, that makes sense. It's weird that this tower is now going to have so much company. It's been on its own out here for a little while. Saw Lizzie's newest Empires video earlier, now the castle makes sense. Well, the castle was always going to be here. Like, I had plans to build a castle here for the longest time. The other stuff has happened much more recently. Just the sound of walking on Netherrack then felt different. That was worrying. Oh, hang on. Got the dimensions of that slightly different. There we go. No. Keep doing this in twos. Some blocks sound really squishy and easy to walk on. They do, yeah. Netherrack is one of those. But there's some that, like, genuinely sound like they have a bit of a creeper hiss to them. I find that mining Deep Slate was like that for me in the beginning. There was just this kind of, like, rattle to it that sounded a little bit hissy, and I was like, oh, this is going to fake me out about there being creepers sneaking up on me. And then you end up with that Boy Who Cried Wolf situation where every time, except the one where you expect it to be a creeper, it's not going to be a creeper. And then when you expect it to be a creeper and it's not, then sometimes it is. Sheep eating grass used to freak me out because I thought it was a creeper, yeah. It's funny the amount this game can still jump scare you. Even after all the experience we have in it. Much as I love this mountain, and much as I want to be able to, like, somehow build part of the castle on it, I think we are going to avoid it, because it feels too steep. Like, the rest of this feels more like a plateau. The mountain feels like it would be genuinely difficult to try building anything on. So we are going to leave that mountain as is, in the interests of historical preservation, and also because it's my castle, I'll do what I want. No matter how long you live, you can still be surprised. It's true. Oh, I need to stretch. I need to take a bit of a break, a bit of a breather. Sometimes I find when I get too focused on building, especially if I'm building like circles and lines and stuff like this, I start to get a little bit of motion sickness. So I might just take a break in a second. Get up and stretch. Step away from the PC for a minute. Yeah, people tend to get freaked out by cave sounds, and it's never really bothered me too much because I always know what they are, but a lot of people, like, there are these, I've never quite gotten on with the sort of reaction videos where people seem to be overreacting to stuff, but there's videos of people, like, falling out of their chairs just because they hear, like, a whooshing air sound in a cave, and they're like, what was that? And I'm like, it's Minecraft, there's nothing, like, people are almost superstitious about that stuff, where they're like, oh, something's gonna get me, and it's like, there's nothing in Minecraft that was really like that until the Warden. Have I ever tried Minecraft in VR? No. I haven't really had much of an interest in VR, like, ever. Like, never really considered owning the headsets or anything. I played a bit of VR once, which was My brother-in-law Rob has a set that I played, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, with him. But even then, I find it immersive enough just being this close to a monitor that I'm, like, not that wowed by it. I understand, like, walking around Minecraft stuff in VR is kind of different because everything feels like it's properly player scale. And you're, like, immersed in the world in a different way, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it'd be my thing. I would definitely get motion sick if I get motion sick like this. Yeah, VR is kind of limited in its applications right now. I've heard Half-Life Alyx is good. But, even just the fact that you can't really walk around in games like that without your brain going like, something's wrong, motion. I know some people have a higher tolerance for it than others, but the amount of VR games that involve just, like, teleporting from place to place, and that doesn't really feel like realistic movement to me in a video game sense, just kind of breaks my immersion more than the VR helps it, if that makes sense. Hey, what's up, the Tim Reaper? Welcome in. Excited for this year's April Fool's release? Yeah. Assuming they're planning something significant. Like, in previous years, obviously, like, I think first year of the pandemic, it was like, here's a set of, like, desktop wallpapers and screensavers and that kind of stuff. Which was a fun little side project, especially when people weren't necessarily in the mood for, like, the big rug pull kind of April Fool's joke. But One Block at a Time was fantastic. I had so much fun. Like, you saw what I did in that series. If you haven't seen that series, honestly, I recommend going back and watching it, because the amount of technical stuff that we were able to figure out how to do was really quite something. My one problem with One Block at a Time was just how laborious it was to build anything. To the point where I had an episode where I was like, I'm going to make a starter house, and I gave up after building the facade. I was like, I can't. There's too much. Honestly, if it turned out that the April Fool's thing this year was something small, I would just, like, do another One Block at a Time stream or something, you know? But they've done some pretty fun stuff in the past with, like, other projects, like little fun snapshots and bits and pieces. My favorite conceptually is still the Infinity Snapshot. Oh yeah, like that stuff was just wild. And that's all just them, like, testing tech that end up getting used in the games, or just, like, taking that tech to its logical extremes, right? Like, it was all the custom dimension stuff that is still part of the game. It's not people don't tend to use it all that much, but you can set a bunch of custom parameters for a dimension with its own, like, biome and stuff, and just go wild with it. Yeah, I kind of regret not having checked the Infinity Snapshot out more, but I think it came out whilst I was on holiday or something. Like, I forget what I was doing that year. No schematic this time? No. I've not designed any of this in Creative beforehand. This is all kind of freeform building, because it's just so big. Like, it feels silly building something on this scale in Creative when we're just getting the footprint down, and I sort of know more or less what I'm doing. But there's obviously going to be some elements which are improvised, and some elements where it's going to help to design stuff in Creative, like in individual sections, and then kind of go from there. Wasn't that the year I was in Spain? I don't think I was in Spain that early in the year. But yeah, I'm not sure. I might have just been doing something else. Also a stress test to understand what people's machines could handle. Yeah, and that's smart. Like, it's really quite neat that they can throw stuff like that in there. Can have the wall do like a pretty significant angled shift here. Or should we just go straight diagonal? Is that gonna make sense? No, I think it needs to... I think it still needs to feel like a shallower angle just because of the mountain we're trying to get around here. Ginger, thank you for gifting a sub to Seth. Richly deserved, of course. Hope you're well, Seth. So let me quickly check something. Oh, cool, yeah. Good, thanks. Just had a long week. Oh, I bet. You on the downhill towards Easter now. You know, I just had an idea for what this could be, and I really like it. But I'm not going to tell you yet. But yeah, we effectively want to leave a large space here for another structure. See, can we work on a scale here? Where we can build something like an octagon and not just have it look like a goofy circle. This is the big problem, right? The problem with building like hexagons or octagons in Minecraft is that it always ends up looking like you just don't know how to draw a circle. Blondie, thank you for gifting a sub. Ofsted done just this week to do? Yeah. Gotta be big and the design elements have to support it? Yeah. Minecraft Octagon generator. Diameter. What's the diameter we're really working with here? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I reckon 22 is about as much as we could get away with. It just looks like a circle. Although... you can make some pretty cool... Yeah, alright. Let's start with this. Okay, so 15 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10, 11, 12, and 3 on the other side. 13, 14, 15. Alright, let me move that so that I can get chat out of the way. And then we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, that lines up there. Good, good, good. So if you overlay stuff on top of each other, you can get some pretty fun designs done here. And if we leave this across here, that across there, this like so, and that like that. That's good. Then we have these on the outsides. That's like there, basically. Three across there. And then 2, 3, 4 across the middle. 1, 2, 3. T-shape in like that. Is that how that works? And then that's there. Wait, have I measured that wrong? Yeah, I guess that needs to come out one more. Does it? Or does that break everything? Hang on. What am I doing here? Oh, that's there for a start. That should have been like that. My brain turns off immediately when you build on this scale. Yeah, it's taken a while for me to really feel like I can build on this kind of scale. Alright, let me try and rein this in a little bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so we've got to keep that side the same. So, diameter 21. There we go, that's looking better. Let's get some sleep. So yeah, what I have to do instead of not... we don't want to move that wall, instead we want to do this. So that's still right. That's still got 2 blocks there. That's still 2 blocks from the corner. That goes there. That's looking better. Okay, good. Okay. Little T-shape there. 2, 3. T-shape there as well. And a little 2-block section there. Not going to worry about these gaps for now, but we might have to come and fill those in a minute. Oh, double tap that by mistake. Okay. Then 2 blocks in we have this. We make a T shape here. Connect that with a 3. Make another T-shape there. Okay, that's looking better. And then this needs to come up on this side to make sure that the shape is maintained. And then obviously this is going to be a gap anyway, but we'll build the shape in just so you can see what we're doing here. Might even be part of the actual construction by the end, but we'll see. Okay, so got that corner as well. We'll shave down this side so it looks a little bit better, but from the air that now looks like this, which is kind of cool. Sort of an 8-pointed star sort of shape almost, but it's like 2 overlaying rotated shapes. Overlapping like that. And we can do some cool stuff with this. Like if you get this shape and you emphasize certain parts of it, I feel like you can do a lot with the architectural elements here. Like making kind of interesting corner details and stuff for the different areas. Build those up on the sides as well. There we go. And obviously, like, the deeper this looks, the more the detail of it is going to stand out, because there's more shadows in there, right? So you can kind of see that a bit better now. Yeah. Okay, brain power. Brain power, we're using it. And so there's a bridge out to this. And then it can be surrounded by maybe gardens or something, maybe like some smaller towers of some kind. But this is sort of off of the main audience chamber. Yeah. And then I fall into it, which is currently the problem. Right. Did I miss GM Craft's resub there? Thank you so much, GM Craft. Everyone spam the word nerd in the chat if you haven't already. Thank you so much for the 12-month resub. Enjoy that nerd sub badge. Welcome to the Nerd Herd. Haunted tower full of angry mobs lamenting inside the walls. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to put torches in here eventually, but I'm still not certain what material I'm going to make this out of, and it might be kind of a different situation. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to hop off for a second here just so I can take a quick break. Run to the bathroom, get refreshed, and you guys can take a break too. Make sure to stretch, get some water if you need it, that kind of thing. I'll be back in a few minutes' time. Alright, I've opened a window up in here as well, so it's a little less stuffy and get a bit more room to breathe. This track in this chair is a moment. It's a little kind of shuffly bossa nova kind of number, huh? Alright, let's hop back in. Da-do-da-do-da-do-da. Alright. So yeah, I like this shape a lot. I mean, we could make it a lot larger, but I sort of like the idea of there being a lot more space around it. And on foot, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it looks good. I mean, in terms of the space I want for it. Yeah, plenty we can do there. We also need to keep the wall going as like a 3-block thick thing. So we'll start here. So after having done this, we might have even less space. Glad to hear it's now warm enough to crack a window where we are. I mean, yeah, the house is fairly warm regardless. Like, even if it was a situation where it was super cold outside, I wouldn't be too bad having my window open. I guess that kind of has to curve this way, right? To still be 3 blocks, yeah. Speaking of places we'll need to torch up, if I'm planning on enclosing these walls with like a walkway or something, then need a lot of torches for the inside of this as well. Although building on this scale is much more feasible now that we have mobs only spawning in light level 0. I have to spam torches much less frequently. We continue this out this way. Mm-hmm. This works for me. I mean, we might be able to put another small tower on the corner sections here, but not all of them have to have towers. Having said that, this wall should probably be fairly high, just so people wouldn't, like, climb the mountain and somehow, like, have an easier way to get down onto the castle walls. I also need to check something real fast. My hotkeys. Yeah, okay, cool. We, because we updated the mods and stuff recently for updating to 1.19.1, I wasn't sure if it had saved all of my Lightmatica settings, but it did. So I think what we might end up doing for the last half of the stream, just so I don't end up getting too much of like that motion sickness feeling from running around here and leaping into the air and stuff, I'm going to leave some of my supplies out here. And we are going to go with some dirt over to spawn, bring a wooden axe with us and see if we can check out the Sculk problem over there. Castle isn't some knock it all flat and build something symmetrical. It's absolutely how real castles were built, shaped to the land. Yeah, that's kind of my intent behind the whole thing. Okay, I assume what we'll need to do is factor in everything from, like, the path here to, like, there, really. It's a pretty large space, but it's all chunks we can load from standing in one position. We'll need to make sure that we are low enough down and high enough up. That we've got everything. I'm pretty sure this wasn't built at the time. Neither was, like, Jimmy's little outpost over here. Sausages like a cart. But let's, there we go. Let's have that go out to -80, 90? 90. Yeah, just so we got the start of the path in there. Let's analyze this area. A lot of Sculk. Sculk vein. Any Sculk catalyst still? Yeah, 38. Okay, so there's 38 in here. Not as many as I was expecting, so that's good. Let's go up. Sculk cleanup. Spawn, save. And then let's load.
Well, that's just prime.
We're currently in all below. Good. Keep it that way. In fact, probably lay it down some. So yeah, 152, 112, 149. 12. Oh, okay, yeah, wrong corner. 80. Up a little higher.
Well, that's just prime.
And then what's the opposite corner? Negative 90, okay. Okay, this is more like 86. 88. Alright. So now we can get in here properly. Oh, I need a Sculk catalyst for this, don't I? Of course. Nikki6, thank you so much for the 8 months. And Julander, thank you for the 11. Bimo, thank you for gifting that sub. And Blondie, thank you for gifting a sub to Talismancer as well. So happy Talismancer's been able to drop by for the occasional Elden Ring stream. It's probably a better time. Okay, we scroll this into edit schematic mode. We put down the Sculk catalyst. Wait, are we not inside the boundary of that? Hang on. Should probably get the Silk Touch hoe back out as well. Why is this not placing it to edit? We're inside the box, surely. Oh, that's right. We're on or below still. What elevation are we at here? 97? Okay, right. Yeah, we should probably bring that up just a little. Now we can edit. Yes, thank you. Okay, good. And then we do this. And then schematic verifier tells us where all the catalysts are. Perfect. Have I ever played God of War? The PlayStation one? I have not. I have seen it played a few times. I've watched people play it. It's not really my kind of game, but I enjoy the story. Like the minute-to-minute gameplay of that game would kind of bore me, I think. Weirdly. But yeah, I do like watching people play that game. Okay, so we can at least clear up the ones that spawn. Should really just brought grass blocks instead of dirt, but there you go. Oh, there's a bunch of them that are underneath the structure here now. That's not what we want. There's a few that are just along the path here, so they're a totally separate thing. It's just a boat here, I guess. Oh, didn't somebody had a charged creeper in that, right? I think Joel had one. So I presume from the crater around that somebody either blew it up or it was intentionally detonated to get a mob head or something. Easier to place than to find? Yeah. At least if you're finding them the normal survival way. Like, using Lightmatica feels like cheating, but to be honest, it's just the most efficient way of dealing with the problem outside of just using admin commands and world edit. I can close this now as well. Didn't he say in his video he did something like 600 across the server? He did like 3,000. He had 2 shulker boxes of them. I mean, he had a warden farm, so he just, like, AFK'd that until he had enough. And then just walked around placing them all. Okay. A little bit of this has been terraformed since, I think. Some under the campfire and everything. Will I ever go back to Survival Guide Season 2? Yeah. The plan was to do that fairly soon, but I think at this point it probably makes a touch more sense to do it when 1.20 comes out. Like, I really wanted to start sooner and work on effectively building the full-scale version of my copper aging machine, and then, like, building a couple of the farms that go along with that, really, like the ENX04 copper farm in the end, and then testing that against building stuff in the... or not, like, building stuff, but, like, farming copper from a resource vein. Like a huge vein of copper. And seeing whether you could get more in the same amount of time by getting it manually. Obviously, like, depleting it. But then also, like, a drown-based copper farm could factor in and that kind of stuff. So I still plan on doing all of that, but obviously with the scale of this project on Empires, and Empires still being the more popular series, I kind of need to spend my time here for the next little while at least. But I do plan on going back to Survival Guide, pretty much always. Oh, am I under something here? I should probably not mess with stuff too much. Let's kind of dig our way out here. There we go. This is why this stuff is going to be really awkward to get to now. It's another, I think, somewhat unforeseen effect of Cub doing this is that, like, we build over the top of these things because we don't know where they are. And then you end up with future builds being affected just as much as the builds in the present were. Been playing the most recent Snapshot, man, it's so good. It's very good. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to a lot of the stuff they're bringing to 1.20. The funny thing is, like, a lot of it, we're also going to have to go through some of the mechanics that have changed or been adjusted slightly in, oh, there's just a bunch of Sculk under the surface here, fine. In 1.19.4, because there's some stuff that has changed more recently, like jukebox redstone interactions and horse breeding and stuff like that, right? That's all part of the same set of changes, really. And it's all stuff that would have been included in 1.20 if they still had the same kind of like release philosophy they used to. But obviously now they've started doing smaller dot releases with a few technical changes and improvements to existing features. Makes things a little bit more interesting for all of us in the meantime. C-Dubs, thank you for the 19. Had to lurk a lot this week as work picks up. Enjoying Elden Ring as well. Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying Elden Ring. Thank you so much for stopping by those streams. Am I going to stay on Empires when I bring back Survival Guide? Well, it depends, because obviously Empires as a season has to end at some point. I'm not sure exactly when, but once 1.20 comes around, I don't know if Empires will be updating to that season, to that server this season, to that version this season. You can tell my brain is starting to break down. Or if we're going to be, like, putting Empires on hold at that point and going and doing other stuff, or what the overall vibe is. Okay, good. Right, that is all of the catalysts cleaned up from spawn. We have 39, perfect. Remove that so it's not lagging me out anymore. And where's the... Great. Love the smaller releases not only announcing things when they're ready. Yeah, it's definitely been a more exciting time, I feel like. And as somebody who does like a week-to-week podcast about the development of Minecraft and new releases and stuff like that, it is quite exciting to suddenly have a snapshot sprung on us and have a ton of new stuff to talk about. Like this upcoming show on Monday, where we're going to be talking about... the most recent snapshot, was it 13A, 12A? I forget what week we're in now. But yeah, the stuff that came with this week's snapshot with like trail ruins and suspicious sand and gravel and ocean ruins, all of the extra pot designs, all of the extra armor trims, like there's so much cool stuff. Archaeology and the new Sculk stuff almost makes 1.20 Caves and Cliffs Part 4. I mean, it's Minecraft Part 20. Like, yeah, big surprise. They're building on previous features. It's like everything after 1.18 is going to feel like an extension of Caves and Cliffs because 1.18 was such a substantial update to the world. It's like, oh, they add a new biome. Oh, this should have been in Caves and Cliffs. You know, like, you can't really win. Love to eventually see custom elytras. Yeah, I think it's kind of unfortunate that the only way of customizing elytras in a vanilla sense is to use like capes or whatever, and those are only accessible to people who've been able to attend in-person Minecraft events while they even still did those. Yeah, it's kind of rough. And obviously, like, there have been migrator capes and things like that have come out since, right? But, yeah, even some of those were inaccessible to everybody. Armor trims are the all-time best addition to the game. It allows for so much personality for your armor. I kind of agree. I mean, I don't know if they're the best addition to the game, but just in terms of making armor actually exciting and worthwhile and not worrying about... Like, on this server, we've started using an invisible armor resource pack because... that allows us to see a little bit more of our player skins. But I think in a future season of Empires, if there is like a Season 3 and it happens in 1.20, armor trim could really be a substantial part of your Empire's identity. And not just like the design on it, but the material you're using as well. Like, if I ended up doing something with copper again, because, you know, it happens, having copper trim in all of my armor makes perfect sense, right? Like, or even using diamond trim but having it be, like, the aged copper. You know, there's elements where you can work it in a variety of ways. Oh, this adds on to PvP. Should have been an update to 1.9. Yeah, right. Is that the crown of Season 1? No, it's the crown of Season 2. On a less jokey note, I'm pretty sure with archaeology, everything from caves and cliffs is going to be in the game, so it should be fully done and gone are the days of empty promises. Well, yeah, people are still going to complain. Because people love to complain. So if anyone was curious about the amount of Sculk catalysts that I've kept from all of that, they're in there. Hoping we'll see some more color control for the new pots. I'm hoping so, but with the amount of designs and stuff they have as well, like, I don't want to presume too much. Like, I know Mojang has kind of been surprising us with stuff like that and listening to the community and what the community wants, and reskinning stuff in the way that armor trim exists without having to cram the creative inventory with, you know, hundreds of thousands of items is really cool. I'm not sure quite how they're achieving that, but, like, if it means that potentially, yeah, we can have some ways in which that can happen with colored pots and everything, then yeah, like, I'd love that. I think the problem then becomes, like, how do you, like, let's have a thought experiment here. If you have colored pots and you dye the pots once it's crafted, presumably, right? Then you break it back down into pot shards. Does the color stay on? And if not, why not? Because you've already colored those. But then, of course, you have to reassemble it from colored versions of all of the pot shards, and that means you have to have each of those pot shards in 16 colors. So the most sensible thing to do is just have them break down back down into the normal, like, terracotta colored shards. And then do you dye all of them individually, or do you just dye all of the, like, the entire pot has to be a certain color, so you can't, like, adjust each side to look different? You know, like, there's a few different issues with that. And, like, can you do what you can do with, like, armor and dip the pot in a cauldron to remove the dye? Remove the color. Your pot shards are dyed. If you mix colors, you get a plain pot again. Well, that seems even weird. But yeah, having a block that you put down that's, like, got a different texture on each face is sort of unprecedented to begin with, right? Like, you can choose what side each texture is on. That's kind of the first time we've really been able to do that. The customizability of that. Like, obviously there are blocks which have a different texture on different faces for some of them. Like logs, for example, right? And you can tell, you can set down which direction they're facing, but you can't decide to have, like, a log texture on that side and on that side, but not on the other two. And, like, with these pots, it's, like, the first time we've really been able to do anything like that. A new idea, glass flower pots. Why don't we have those yet? Because the crafting recipe for a flower pot is already used to make glass bottles, and potion brewing has been a more substantive mechanic for longer. I don't know how you, like, if you want to make a vase or something, then maybe you could have, like, 5 glass instead of 3 or something, but I don't know. Oh, right. I've used up too much of my brain power. My energy levels are kind of dipping. I feel like I need to go and eat something. I think I'm just, like, kind of in that place right now. But thank you for sticking with me through this. I think we've made some pretty cool additions to the castle layout. On Tuesday, I'll be back to do a bit more streaming. We might get this layout done. I mean, really all I need to do is join this wall to over here somehow, and then figure out what's going around the back here. Probably do some terraforming on this cliff instead of just having it be all stone. But yeah, like, we got spawn cleaned up a little bit as well. Very happy about that. Stay tuned for an episode tomorrow, because that will explain why I have this, and a couple of other things. But for now, we're going to be raiding somebody. Because, yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling just a little bit low energy today, and I'm starting to get a little bit, like, both hungry and slightly nauseous from sweeping side to side with the camera. Boz is live. Let's go raid him. He's a good lad. It's been a while. I presume he is still going to be live for a little bit longer because he's not throwing mobs at people in the end dimension. So we'll go raid Boz. Boz is another family-friendly content creator. He's part of the 8-bit community who I stream Dungeons & Dragons with every so often. And hopefully you folks will enjoy his stream. You can use your Pixel Hype emote and the hashtag PixelRaid to show some love. Also want to say, Raymond, thank you for the 14 months earlier. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a good one over at Boz's place. I'll be back with you on Tuesday for another stream, so stay tuned for that. Until then, take care. My name's been Pixelriffs. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.